Hello, everyone, and welcome to Variant Roles and Project VHS. I am your host and game master, Dan Gaston, at MadSciDM on Twitter. I use he, him pronouns, and we are here to explore ourselves, space, and the void. So, let me kick it over to our wonderful players to introduce themselves and remind us of the characters they are playing here tonight. And I will toss it over, starting in a different order tonight, down in the lower right with Quinn. Hey, Quinn.
Oh, hey, yes, hello. I'm Mesley. Tonight I'll be playing Quinn. No, that's not correct. I am Quinn. My name's Quinn. That's my real name. I use she, her pronouns. We're doing great. I tonight, it's Thursday, so yay. I'm Dr. Mesley Flores, a perceptive speaker who calculates the incalculable, and I have nothing to hide.
Don't worry about it. Perfect. Excellent. All right, moving along in a quasi-random order, because I stole her catchphrase, we'll go over to Val.
So ready for that. I was like, hi, I'm Val. You may remember me from such shows as Project VHS last week. Tonight I will be playing Natasha Longshot Kane. We both use she, her pronouns, and she is a mysterious explorer who bears a halo of fire, and everything is fine. Don't worry about it. We're all fine.
Perfect. Excellent. All right, continuing my strange zigzag pattern through my players, I'm going to go up to Taryn.
Hi, everyone. I've been waiting for that since he started going randomly. So, I'm Taryn, he, him, and I'm playing Marcus Hatsey, security officer aboard the Erebus, and just trying to get everybody out alive.
Excellent. That's a very good objective. It's a very wholesome objective. All right. We will slide on over to Anders.
Hello, I'm Anders. At Anders_D_K on the internets. I use he, him pronouns, and tonight I'm playing Takashi Hano, aka Glitch, who also uses he, him pronouns and is a weird adept who rides the lightning, which means his hands go spark, spark.
Excellent. I'm excited to see more of that. All right. We have Maria.
Hello, it's B. I'm Maria. I use she, they pronouns. I'm at Happy Capster on Twitter, and tonight I will be playing Eva Delgado, who uses she, her pronouns. She is an inquisitive explorer who would rather be reading, and probably is lamenting the day she left home.
Excellent. Perfect. All right. And going down, finally, last but definitely not least, we have Emma.
Hello. I am Emma. I use she, her pronouns. And tonight I am Billy Lawless, who also uses she, her pronouns, and she is a mystical adept who explores dark places.
Excellent. All right. So, something I forgot to ask for a volunteer for before the game. Who wants to give a brief recap of session 3? Is Emma signaling for herself?
No, I'm saying, y'all, I did it. Go.
That's right.
Val did it. I volunteered Taryn.
Week.
Yeah, let's volunteer Taryn.
I volunteered Taryn.
Hi, I'm Taryn. I'm volunteered.
You've been voluntold.
Yes, I have. So last week, we began our voyage into the egg, to put it plainly. Marcus gave a big speech about not splitting up and being communicative, and then we'll get to a point later where he does one of those things. So we explored a room with some spires. I believe they were spires, or were they columns?
Columns, yeah.
Column spires.
Yeah.
Potato.
Exactly.
And we made our way to the middle of the room where we found the 9th symbol, the last symbol that we were sent from the egg after Natasha Longshot Kane sent. Yes, Maria is sort of displaying it. Yes, that one. Yeah, and Kane had a interesting encounter with this symbol. Saw someone with a mortar and pestle, I believe. And yeah, made our way further into the cave, found some engravings, some what's the word I'm looking for? Reliefs, I believe, depicting similar figures to the ones that Dr. Delgado has seen in a vision and found on Mars, or at least the remains of. And they were in the process of putting some people into vats. Glitch had a moment of reflection as we studied them and took a second to follow behind. And we found ourselves into a room with some sort of display. Trying to think, I believe Billy had some visions from the display with the symbols. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was like a ghosting sort of effect,
Yes.
and she was looking at them.
And as such, told the rest of us about it, I believe.
Yep.
And then Glitch investigated and player intrusioned. It exploded. We got met by some new friends aboard the egg. Marcus threw a knife at one. They put the screen back together, and Dr. Flores heard something. So
I don't know what you're talking about.
it's getting spookier and spookier as we go along, but yeah. Can't wait to find out.
And you threw a knife at one of the
I mentioned that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And then
Perfect.
my knife is gone. So I'm very sad about that.
Yeah,
I
and
like
then
my
they ate
knives.
it. Excellent. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
Nope. Never.
Perfect. All right. Well, we will dive right in after this intro. All right. So, when we left off, you were all in this room with the strange crystal display, as Taryn laid out the events that happened there. And we will pick up pretty much immediately afterwards. So, you maybe have had some time to chat and collect your feelings. When this crystal display was excuse me one sec. All right, one of those sneezes that doesn't want to go. When the crystal display was reconstructed by these spider drone sort of creatures, for lack of a better word, Emma, or Billy, that feeling did not return. So it doesn't seem to be affecting you in the same way when it's reconstructed, and it hasn't like turned on and activated. It's sort of that dead slate gray color that it was when you first entered the room. And then those like spider creatures, after devouring their pinned comrade and the knife that pinned it, sort of scurry out across the room, but instead of disappearing into the hallways from whence they came, they sort of just like scurry into the wall and seem to find cracks in the wall that you don't see, that they just disappear into. They sort of just like scurry out and merge with the wall and vanish. And Glitch, you sort of get a ping on your little like virtual assistant on one of your computer devices that your mapping drones, which you sort of unleashed in that first room and which have been progressing through, return to you a schematic as they have completed the first like rough pass of a layout through this pyramid. Some of it is like sonar, like radar type things. Like there's a couple of places where they noted some doors that were sealed and so they couldn't get through, but they've, pinged out the rooms and have returned a rough schematic of the pyramid, which I've given all of you previously and which I am displaying on screen right now for the audience. So A, and I've got it pinned up in roll 20 for you all. So room A is that entryway where you came in. You're in a minor room that doesn't appear on this schematic representation, but Glitch, you can assume that your actual, 3D map contains it. But here, just these major rooms are denoted and progressing deeper. So A is at the top of the inverted pyramid, so at the wide, what would otherwise be the base. And room I is at the very bottom, at the small pointy end. So this all sort of funnels in. And all those paths are major routes that you can take between these major rooms.
I will. I'll pass that on to everybody so they all see it.
All right. So it all feeds and you now have full access to a schematic. It's just in your data banks and you can pull it up anytime and use it to help navigate. So what would you all like to do?
So does the system automatically designate them, or is that something that we kind of have to do on our own?
So, I mean, I've labeled them for your benefit as players more than anything, so we can all refer to, like, room A. But yes, the mapping software could designate it with some sort of ID.
Glitch, would you have that set up to anything in particular, or?
No, I mean, they're probably just right now blank labels because the scanners are not smart enough to give us much more than layout. They don't know what's in the rooms.
Yeah, it's not a detailed scan. It's basically just like the shape, basically. And these have been all tagged as important because these rooms are all bigger than other rooms, so they seem more relevant.
So, just to point out, there's 9 on our system. They got tagged, and we got 9 symbols.
Well,
Do we want to designate them with those and count down? Considering we found 1 and 1, or 9 and 1.
Emma's slowly
yeah.
like lowering the mask.
Hello.
Nerdy.
Yeah, that sounds just fine. So do we want to
move on.
or move forward? Move in, around and through? Yes, we're going to yes,
Yeah.
sorry. Yep.
Yeah.
That's, just a lot of options there, Billy. So, doctors, Kane, Glitch, where do you want to go?
I will shut my eyes again and point in a direction.
All right.
Good as option as any.
This way. I can feel it.
I'm just studying Glitch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kane has moved sort of like in front of Glitch, like as in next to, and is like just like, yeah, what are you looking at? Everyone, keep looking forward. There's spiders crawling around going into walls. What are you looking at?
So that way, yeah. Let's go.
1 sec. Quick team meeting, as so to speak. Because right now, everyone so far has had some weird experience with this friggin' egg. Except for Hatsi. He seems to be perfectly fine. But he threw a knife at a spider earlier,
He
which
did do that.
I'm not sure if that's in the protocol, but we'll skip right over that because it was pretty damn cool.
It was a good shot, yeah.
It was. Listen, we've all got stuff here. We've all got our agendas. We've all got reasons why we're here. Put it aside, because right now this egg is messing with us, and it is inside our brains, and we need to work as a team. If we go into this as one person exploring, doing what they got to do, we're probably not going to make it out of here. So all of us, whether we trust each other or not, pull together, work together, look after each other. Because that's the only way we're going to get through this weird-ass place. All right? And I know we all mocked Marcus's protocol, myself included, but everyone stick together, and when Marcus says copy, everyone copies. Clear?
Copy.
Copy.
I just smile.
Doctor, we can't see it through your suit.
Yeah. Big old copy.
Flores.
Copy.
All right, let's move.
I'm going to open up a private channel with Kane. Thanks for giving a much better speech than I did. Just like tapping out.
I'm just going to...
All right. So for ease of abstraction, which room are you moving towards in terms of the letter designation on your map, your schematic?
So we started in A, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, and you're in some room near A, but
So we're
Okay.
basically A.
you're basically in A. Yeah, you can take those paths. Yeah, there's like a lot of like twists and turns and like little side rooms and side passages that are not on this schematic.
Mm-hmm. This is our overview. Not
This
our...
is
So
like your
from
big
here,
overview.
we could get to B, C, or D.
That's right.
Is the goal to see everything or the goal to get to the bottom?
Do we want to go straight for the D, or do we want to go other places?
Let's just walk straight through
Damn it,
to the
Dr.
end
D.
and just go.
Damn it, Dr. D.
Hey, hey.
No.
I sense a voice from Billy saying, explore every room.
Oh, thank you for knowing me.
So,
Our job, our mission, we are out here on the edge of the solar system to explore and determine the roots of the signal. I feel like not exploring is not conducive to the mission.
actually, not even protocol. So,
So
we should explore
E?
everything.
Every room.
Also, that kind of gives us an idea and make sure nobody's behind us, or standard stuff is making sure that the whole thing is secure, not just what we need to see.
Yeah, I
That
think it's
idea
pretty
we know-
secure in here.
Yeah, sure. It's better we explore, figure out everything that we're dealing with before we try and get to the end.
figure out everything. Alphabetical order then?
Well, I mean, we're kind of counting down at this point, so I guess
Yep.
8.
Yeah, well, so let's go with the letter designation.
Okay.
Because that's-
B.
I would love
That's
to count down. Can we please count down?
All right, but that just makes me so nervous.
I know. That's
Because-
the point.
the question is, you don't know if like there's a 9 and 9, but you don't know how these might relate to.
That's true. So B.
B.
All right. So you make your way through a series of tunnels, and like I said, there's lots of little side rooms. So if you want to stop and investigate anything in particular, let me know. But otherwise, I can give the summary of sort of what they kind of tend to look like. So some side passages as you go through. A lot of them appear to be something akin to storerooms or dormitories. Like there's little side tunnels that come off that have small round chambers in multi-layers and appear to have some sort of growths out of the wall that would be, or out of the floors, that would amount to something like furniture. Tables that grow out of the floor and sort of sprout like flat-topped mushrooms. The chairs are all sort of saddle-like to accommodate the different physiology of these creatures that you have seen. High curving backs that are very narrow so that they'll fit in between the like flared out wings. There are things that appear to be like beds, like ledges and things like that in these rooms. Most of the cells look like they're built to inhabit only a single individual. Pretty small and Spartan, like a ledge that basically would amount to a bed, something like a desk, and that's about it. No seeming technology of any kind in any of these rooms. Everything spirals. All of the passageways are not straight. They're all twisting spirals with small outgrowths. It's a very organic structure on the inside of this pyramid. And then you find your way to a larger room. It is also round, open and spacious, where some of the other rooms have all been relatively big for you, but you imagine these Martians, who are much taller and bigger than humans are, that they would probably be kind of tight quarters, whereas this is larger and more spacious. Rows of fluted spiraling columns, but just around the perimeter. So like 2 rows of these columns, but just around the outside. The interior is smooth. The columns appear to have black slots in them, rectangular slots, each one holding some individual crystal, smoky gray crystal. But you're just seeing like the edge, like where it's slotted in, covering all of these columns. Chairs and desks, similar to what you've seen, scattered around the room, forming sort of organized workspaces. Tables built to accommodate groups of three or six individuals. And in the very middle of the room is a chair, similar to the ones you've seen, but bigger and articulated. Looks like it can move and rotate and bend, with an articulated device hanging over where the occupant's face would be. And dangling from it is a pallid yellow metallic mesh mask that would like fit over and lay over top of an occupant's face, assuming they had a head. It's kind of oblong, right? It's built for these like dog-like heads of these Martian remains that you have seen. And also around the room, near other, like sort of growing out of the tables, are these almost umbilical-like cables that sort of sprout out of the middle of the tables and twist and turn, laying on the tabletops, oriented with their ends around the individual chairs in the room.
Dr. Lawless.
Sorry, that's real loud.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
I just realized that I didn't have our music on.
We're fine. Everything's fine.
Dan, why did you do that to us?
Why does the
My
music?
pants.
It's cold, dark, and scary. Oh no!
It's fine. It's fine.
That's the playlist I've been
Don't worry
playing the
about
whole time, most of the whole time.
We're fine.
Yeah, and it started with the... Yeah, because this is the Monomyth track, and it started with the big blaring horn.
Alright, Reapers from Mass Effect.
No, no.
I'm a reaper.
Yes, Glitch.
No sitting in the chair for... Don't go sit in the chair. Just I know you want to, but just let's look at everything first.
It's not always a question of want. Sometimes it's a question of need.
Okay,
Chair
well, we
last.
need you to investigate the rest of the rooms, not just this one. So,
Chair last.
I'm gonna quickly open a private comm to Billy as well and say, there are very nice crystals over there, but I want you to remember together before you touch it or the chair. I can feel you looking at it, Billy.
Okay.
Proud of you.
And I am gonna go over and examine the crystals inside the columns. You said they were inside the columns, right? The slats?
Yeah,
Okay.
like square slots, closely packed. Like there's a lot of these crystals in each of the columns. And even upon quick investigation, it's pretty clear that it's a crystal, like, tablet, essentially, slid into the slot. Like, there's a gap around it where you could grab it. Whether you can pull it out or not, like, it's clear the way the slots are that this is slid and slotted in to the column.
Okay. I will open up comms with everyone. These appear to be tablets of sorts. And I'm just gonna.
Billy.
Yep.
Will you let me scan it first? Just make sure it doesn't like kill you.
Speaking of your scanner glitch, is it working quite all right?
Yeah.
What happened in the other room then?
Electromagnetic malfunction. You know, we passed through an electromagnetic field to get in here, and our equipment's not quite calibrated for that level of interference, but I hit it. Yeah, it's working. It's okay.
Do you think it'll happen again?
Well, nope. I fixed it. I hit it real good. That's how you fix things in.
Hey, Frankie.
Yes, Marcus.
Can you help us make sure that doesn't happen again?
Well, I can do what I can, and it's like this, like, it's basically like, you know, the targeting practice drone in Star Wars, like A New Hope, when it's basically that, just bobbing around, so it doesn't have any hands or anything. And it says, I can provide assistance and advice to Glitch, but I'm afraid that there's not much I can do hands-on, as it were.
That's all I meant. Just, well, I was going to say give Glitch a hand, but that doesn't really work, but you just said so.
It's very insulting, Marcus.
I
It's very
will
insensitive of you.
not do better. I'm sorry.
Seems fine. Seems like Glitch has fixed it. He knows what he's
Yep.
doing. And he's the one that's most experienced with the tech.
Just
He
trying
is
to
the
use all our
engineer.
variables, so...
Yeah. You know, the first thing you learn in computer school is if it's not working, hit it a couple times, and if that doesn't work, duct tape. So we've got both of those, so we're good. Good.
Does this mean I can touch this now?
I look at my scanner. Is there anything horribly radiating off of it, or is it picking up something awful?
Like a brief scan without doing, say, like full diagnostics and investigation.
Yeah, no, super brief scan.
Yeah, just the, like, you know, you wave the tricorder over it a couple of times, and you know, like, there's energy there, but it doesn't appear dangerous. It appears that there's residual charge in whatever these crystals are, but does not appear it to be at, like, dangerous levels.
Yeah, I think you can touch it.
Eva had her hand over one as well. And as soon as Glitch says that, she pulls it out.
Alright, so Eva and Billy sort of simultaneously pull these crystal tablets out. And when you pull it out, it's like a crystal slate. It has a variable width, so it's a little bit thicker at the ends and around the edges than it is in the middle. It's roughly the size of, like, a large iPad, like the iPad Pro. You know, it's like a 13-inch diagonal. It's a widescreen format. You know, a little off of your devices, but it's reminiscent of a tablet, essentially. And when you slide it out, and, you know, are holding it, it flickers, and the middle part of it turns from this smoky, translucent gray to more transparent. There's a subtle glow and text in an unknown, sort of vaguely, for lack of a better word, I will call it runic, but we'll just say, like, it doesn't look like, you know, earth runes, but it's, you know, angular, but clearly a textual language appears on the screen.
I'm gonna, like, look at it. I'm gonna look at everybody. And I'm gonna look back at it. I'm gonna look up at everybody. And then I'm just gonna, like... Do you see this? Please tell me you see this.
Yes, Billy, we do.
Copy.
Copy.
I'm gonna flip it back around. It turned transparent, you said, and then the text showed up?
Yeah, like, I guess it never went fully transparent. It always stayed a little
Okay.
translucent, like for
Got it.
ease of reading, essentially.
Got it. Okay.
But yeah, it went from like opaque, almost totally opaque. It went from 90% opacity to like 50%.
Okay.
I pull out my tablet and I want to. Oh no, hang on. I want to walk over to one of the tables, not sit in a chair. Walk over to the table. And I want to
It's
start.
like a standing desk, basically.
Yeah. And I want to try to compare these runes to any other runic languages I've ever studied. I also do have an ability called Decipher.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it'll come into play, but essentially it reads, if you spend a minute examining a piece of writing or code in a language you do not understand, you can make an intellect roll of difficulty 3 or higher based on the complexity of the language or code to get the gist of the message.
Yep. Okay.
I have skills. This is what I do.
Yes.
All right, so we'll lay this out. Okay. So you do your decipher ability, right? That doesn't have a cost, I think.
It costs 1.
Right,
intellect,
it costs
yeah.
1, but you have an edge.
But I have
right?
an edge.
So
Yeah, I have
so it
2.
cancels
It's
out.
fine.
Yeah, so you'll spend the minute sort of studying the text. Assuming that you're interacting with the tablet, you quickly
As much
find
as I
out
can, yeah.
that much like a regular tablet, you make like a swiping gesture over it, and it's paging through text that is broken up in patterns, not like any human language. It has a pattern to it, but it doesn't inherently appear to be left to right or right to left or top to bottom or bottom to top. It's unclear. It's jumbled. Things are not in neat lines. Things seem to be arranged in circular patterns.
Does
in
it start in the
arcs.
center and then go out, or out and go in?
It very well could.
Okay.
And when you change pages, the orientation seems to change between adjoining pages.
Okay. I do technically
Almost-
have to roll for this decipher, by the way.
Yeah. This is what you're just getting
Okay,
at surface
okay,
level
sorry.
of going through.
Continue.
Yeah. So it appears almost like these were people that maybe had books, and there is a symbolic to the front and back of a page, because when you're swiping, these pairs appear to be subtly different reflections of one another in pairs. So the pages are always in pairs, but subtly reflected, not perfectly. There are differences. They're not just mirrored transpositions. There are differences. You're going through your things, comparing it. There's not a lot of obvious comparisons, but there are some similarities. And you still have some memories of things that you have seen.
Uh-huh.
So you spend your minute. I'm going to give you an asset in this case, should you choose to accept it, which is tapping into your memories. They're
Yes.
foggy. It's going to take effort
Okay.
to do so. Would you like to do so?
I came here for answers, so yes.
Okay. So you sort of steel yourself to pushing through that mental block, which, that barrier has weakened a little bit over recent days. All right. So that will give you an asset. Plus, you've got your other stuff, and you've got some skills here too, probably, correct?
I do.
That might apply.
I have skill in history and ancient languages from just knowledge skills.
Mhm.
I also have.
I think you have Martian archaeology, right?
Yes, I just wrote it down as regular archaeology, but yes, I can change it. Yeah, because I'm specialized in that.
Yeah,
So,
you're a
yeah.
specialist in the Martian archaeology. So let's go with that. So that's your 2 levels of skill, which you can only reduce by 2 anyway from skills. And you're going to get 1 level of asset. The max levels of asset you can get is 2 as well. So that's going to reduce by 3 total. You don't know the difficulty of the challenge here.
Right.
It's going to be hidden.
Right.
It's going to be occulted. And I'm going to have you do 2 things. First, I'm going to have you make an intellect defense roll as you push through these memories, this barrier in your mind.
Okay.
All right, so this is going to be a level 4 challenge.
Okay.
So the target here would be 12.
Okay.
I don't think you have any skills in like intellect defense or like resisting.
I do not.
Interrogation or something. Like, you know, like mental fortitude, basically. All right. But you can spend effort.
Okay. I will. I would like to.
Okay.
My effort is now 2. What does that change?
So it means you can spend 2 levels of effort.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so the first level effort costs 3 points. The second level costs 2, and then you subtract your edge off of that total.
I would like
it reduces it reduces the challenge by 2.
Okay. So right now the challenge is 4, which means I have to get a 12 or higher. And then
That's right.
A 3 would be 9 or higher, is this correct?
That's correct.
So a 2 would be 6.
That's right.
Yeah, I have a whole lot of intellect. Let's do that.
And what's your edge in intellect? Your edge is pretty high, 2.
It's 2.
So you basically, your second level is essentially free if you think about it that way. Yeah. So it costs you 3 points to spend 2 levels of effort.
Excellent. I would love to do that, please.
Okay. So a 6 or higher.
Okay. It's a 7. Oofa doofa.
All right. So you have a successful asset in your memories. I would like you... Could you roll me a D... Actually, it's not an asset. It's a subtle cipher. Roll me a D6, please.
Oh, boy! Okay.
Thank you so much, Scraticus, for the raid. We are currently deciphering a alien text in a weird egg in space, and everything's a little creepy. And Eva here has pushed through some mental trauma to get a subtle cipher. What was your D6 roll?
That's the 1.
Okay. So it's a level 3 cipher.
Oh, okay.
So assuming you're gonna spend it here, it's actually, in this case, it's going to reduce, instead of an asset of 1, it's going to reduce the difficulty by 3.
Ooh. Neat. Yes. I would love to exceptionally exceed whatever I'm doing rather than maybe succeed at what I'm doing.
Okay. So we've got a level 3 cipher application. You had 2 levels. So 5, and asset from your computers for 6. So the original is reduced by 6. Roll me a d20, please.
I'm so nervous. Okay. It was a 5.
Okay.
Oh, wait, can I spend...
You can spend an XP to re-roll.
I would like to do that, please.
Okay.
I had one, you guys. Okay. Now, before I re-roll, can I spend any more?
Oh, yes, and you could spend effort. Yes.
Yes, please.
And we didn't factor that in.
We didn't, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's right. So go.
Because the 5 is bad, and I would have re-rolled it anyway.
Yeah. So you probably want to spend 2 levels of effort, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't worry, I still have 12 intellect, you guys. It's fine.
Yeah. So we have whatever the original challenge is reduced by 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I'm not going to use that one. We're going to use a different die. Okay. Oh, God. Okay, that's a 12.
Okay. So you're flipping through this text. And it's not like, instant translation. It gives you like the gist of things, but you start piecing together based on like you have flashes of memory of like almost like a Rosetta Stone type thing being accessed just before the accident, where there were side-by-side comparisons of Martian text with Earth text. Earth text that in the installation on Mars was in the Martian database.
What?
Earth text from multiple time periods of recorded human history.
Okay.
And as you start putting that together, you're like, wait, we started to decipher this. And you're flipping through, and this text is like a historic, it's like a historical text. It like the gist of it is laying out some history of a city, and it is a city called Carcosa. And it talks about this like mighty city that raised to some of the pinnacles of this species civilization that settled multiple worlds and that was destroyed in their hubris.
I feel like I've heard that name before. Have I come across that name?
You have.
Oh, cool!
But in fiction.
Okay. Okay.
You're like, wait, Carcosa? That's from the mythos. Like H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah. Okay. I think very quietly over the comms, Eva's still looking at all of this, is going to say, I found something.
Yes.
I can read this.
Billy's running over to Eva.
Yeah, I will also go over there.
Yeah, as best as I can, I'll try to like, I don't know, a language lesson is not exactly a quick thing to do. But I'll essentially like point out the different things that do like a brief overview of what I just read specifically here, mentioning the name Carcosa and that they were everywhere. And this is like a tome of like, this is history. And I'll just like swipe back and forth and be like, there's pages. It's like a book. And then I'll also mention there were on Mars, there were Earth texts, things that we wrote in their language. Exactly. It was copied. And I don't know if that means that somehow we got stories from them or they got them from us. And I'm starting to think that we got it from them.
In August was the jackal born. The rains fell in September. I think we're the jackals.
I think upon hearing this, Billy is going to start taking some pretty furious notes, specifically about Carcosa. And I want to, if I'm able to just share information with the group, I'm going to share information that is historical in nature regarding places called Carcosa outside of the Lovecraft, specifically dating back to like 4000 BCE, and Celtic mythology, Lady Carcass, and Emma herself needs to go grab a book that has this information in it, so I'm gonna be right back. But I'm sharing this information with the group about, or I can tell everybody later. Maybe, I don't know. I'm so excited right now. I'm like vibrating. I'm sorry.
Well, and Billy would remember. So of course, like Lovecraft isn't the person who introduced it in fiction. It was Ambrose Bierce. And of course, there's a medieval French city, Carcassonne, which is also known as Carcassonne, which people speculate like that's where Ambrose Bierce got it.
While all this is going on,
Yeah, glitch.
I look at. There's multiple tables in this room, so I'm going to a different table slightly away. Can I investigate these tabletop apparatuses that go to the chairs?
Yeah. So when you look at it, sort of just initial inspection, they're sort of thick, tubular structures, probably about that big around. It seems kind of like a cable, if you were going to compare it to something, like a bundled cable, like heavy duty, like you could imagine on the ship, for instance. There are places where like lots of fiber optic cables are all bundled together in these sheaths covered with like rubber. And it's like that, except the exterior is more rigid, almost like it's chitinous structure or material that covers it, and it's like jointed and ribbed. It's very like almost biological looking in some ways, and the end has a disc on the end, a sort of puckered disc with a couple of like sharp, dark, metallic looking prongs that come out of it. Looks very much like a plug.
And this is all under my breath, not on comms. But this is some form of classroom. I want to go look at the middle chair. I'm not going to touch it. I want to go look at it because everyone else is distracted.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Caden during this time has been walking back towards the chair.
Yeah. So on examination, the chair, imagine something that looks like, you know those medieval saddles that actually have a back on them? It's something like that, but much bigger, and the back like sweeps up really high. And you know the Martian figures that you've seen so far are like 7-8 feet tall, so it's geared for them. And for a creature to like crouch over and sit on this like a saddle, so it's almost like a hybrid between a stool, a saddle, and a chair. And the back on these versus the other chairs is much broader. It's not narrow to fit between the wings. It flares out. It's big, curved in like it would partially encompass whoever sits on it. And in the middle of the back of the chair is a symbol. And in fact, it is
Which one, Dan? Which one is?
It is
Which one?
Emma.
We're stressed.
the 7th symbol.
Okay. The one that super looks like an eye. Like, really looks like an eye.
Did you say there was a helmet with it as well?
It's so from the back of the chair, there's a projection, like a bit of like rigid cable, kind of similar to what's on the desks, and it hangs out over where someone's head would be, and it's not so much like it's not rigid like a helmet. It's sort of draped, it's hanging, it's loose. It's made of this metal like mesh of a very pallid yellow color. But it still has a little bit of shape to it, and it definitely looks like it would slide over and like rest over someone's head and face.
Kane, you're over by the chair too.
Yep.
I'm gonna do a private con to Kane. So this is how they share information with each other. Which way does it go? Is this, I kind of point to the chair, the teacher, the receiver?
I look over to Glitch and I say, there's a way we can find out, and I'm going to step up and pull the helmet down. I don't know why Kate is very drawn to this helmet, and I couldn't stop her.
Kane, no!
You're breaking code!
I'm sorry.
I don't stop her.
I heard a helmet. I'm a pilot. I wear those.
So you sort of like orient yourself in the chair, and you're standing, you can't really sit in it, and like reaching up and like pulling it down. And it's almost like chainmail sort of slithering over your helmet, like tinkling against the glass. And it does begin to like move and slither itself over your helmet and sort of stick to it and encompass it. But nothing seems to happen. It's like wrapped around your spacesuit helmet.
Would I... That doesn't seem like a good idea at all.
What's it doing?
Kate is going to, if she can still do private comms, say, it's attached itself to my helmet. I think, well, whatever it is, wherever the Martians were, I think they didn't have a helmet in the way.
This air is very toxic, Kane. You can't take your helmet off. It will kill you, Kane.
It will kill me if I breathe it.
I am all for putting on the helmet and learning what this has to teach you, but not if it's going to kill you. I will call over Marcus. I will.
I don't know what's messing up Kane so much about this stupid helmet.
So I'm trained in perception.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Meanwhile, what are Marcus?
What are you guys doing whilst I
Marcus
and,
is just
and Mesley
watching.
doing? Well, and Marcus and Mesley.
Yeah. Marcus is observing. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're pretty aware of what's going on.
I'm at the little doctor's table.
Okay,
Being
yeah,
a nerd.
Okay, so you're nerding out over the translation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marcus is watching everyone for apparently good reason. Kane is now making his way over to the helmet.
Can I use, in this instance, premonition?
Sure. You tell me. So what does premonition say?
So if I spend 2 intellect points, you learn 1 random fact about a creature or look at. Oh, I thought it said item. Damn you! I can't use this. Never mind.
Okay.
God, I really want to open my.
I want to open comms to Kane and Glitch.
I'm just gonna say you don't know what this is, so why don't we go ahead?
Yes! Fuck yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. I mean, yeah, yes. Okay, so I can run 1 fact that is pertinent to the topic you designate.
Okay.
Will it eat me if I open my helmet?
Okay. All right. So, I mean, you know that if you take your helmet off, the length of time you can survive in this atmosphere, even without breathing, is pretty limited. Because it's ammonia and methane, so it'll actually mess you up, like just having your skin exposed. So that wouldn't be good. All right, so now in terms of the premonition, one other question. Your premonition comes from which focus?
The void.
Okay. All right, so how much does it cost you?
2 intellect points.
All right, so you can go ahead and spend the 2 intellect minus
And what
whatever
foci
edge.
is it called?
And yes.
Well, funny you should say that. It's called Dances with Dark Matter.
Yes.
Fuck.
Because some of our characters have begun to change. And players. And be affected by this environment. So this is like a subconscious thing. You're tapping into something that you don't even understand or know, as you sort of reach inside yourself trying to figure out what exactly this thing is. And you have a coiling sensation deep in your stomach when you stare at this thing that should be a device. But it's alive. It has a soul.
Fucking cool.
Whatever it is has been bound into the chair, into this device.
Holy crap. It's I'm gonna open the comm to Glitch. Hey, Glitch.
Yeah.
It has a soul.
The chair.
Whatever's bound to it. It's alive.
Oh, that is the worst. That's really not fair. Hey, Dan. I have a
Yes.
thing.
Yep.
One of my special abilities is a sense for weird science.
Yeah.
And it gives me an innate sense if something is dangerous.
Yep.
How do I feel about the chair?
Okay. And does this cost you anything, this
Nope.
ability? Okay, it's just a general thing. It's complicated. It's definitely doesn't feel safe.
Well, if it has a soul, then perhaps we should have asked its permission to use it.
I mean, we're not technically using it right now. It's just giving my helmet a very strong hug.
Yeah, and Natasha, if you sort of pull and adjust, it shifts, so it seems like you could pull your head out if you wanted to. It's not like stuck on. It's like clinging to it, like how plastic wrap clings like statically to your skin.
Glitch, Kane, what's going on? As I tap into your comms.
Well, the chair's alive.
Okay. Kane, why is your head in this?
Science?
Remember
I love how the 3 doctors nodded.
Checks out.
Trying to figure out. If we're going to figure out what we're going up against, it makes sense to try and explore everything.
Yeah.
And we already had a chat about this.
Yeah, I think you remember me not agreeing to what we talked about, per se.
But
Anyway, I'm gonna open up comms to everyone. Hey, Billy.
Hello.
1, this chair is alive, apparently. 2, I wonder if you can connect to it.
Billy is running again. To get close to this. I have a quick question for you, Dan. You said that the chairs in here at the tables were in sets of 6 or in sets of 3. Is that accurate? Just a question about the layout. Is this kind of what it looks like for the chairs? You're muted. I cannot hear you.
Give us the answers, but with your voice.
Yes. In any of the tables that are, yes, that is 100% either, because you got your 2 colors there. So if they're in 3s, they're in like a triangle. If they're in 6s, they're circular, but they could be construed as 2 triangles.
You mean kind of like that?
yeah, there it is.
Oh my god!
There it is.
Oh my god!
Okay. Just checking. That's fine. That's okay. That's fine, y'all. That's what I've been sitting over here, like, drawing it over and over again. Like, there's no other thing it can be. Okay.
No.
Sorry. All right. Anyway, I'm to the chair now. I'm at the chair.
I am normally not one to suggest this, but if we're here to investigate, probably should investigate this fully, and you've got something connected to you. Right, Billy?
Suppose that's right.
Kane, would you mind stepping out if you can?
Kane is going to hold out her hand to Billy.
I'll take her hand.
Then is going to take off the helmet and keep holding on to Billy's hand while she does what she does.
Valid.
Oh.
If it's going to take us down, it's going to take down 2 of us.
That's not good odds. I don't like that math.
No one's going down.
We're just going deeper.
For point of reference, I did come over for this.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm alone at the table. That's good. I'd like to look at the book and look for a certain reflection.
Oh, I did leave my tablet there, by the way.
Okay.
If that matters.
We'll circle back to that in a second, Metzley.
Goody.
Yep. All right. So, Billy, while you're now standing at the chair, and you can feel a itchy sensation under your skin, like something moving. Can I intrude?
Yeah. Yes,
All right.
please.
Okay. Who do you like to give the other XP to?
Glitch.
Okay.
Oh.
So, Glitch, you have an XP. So, Natasha, you can probably see, at the veins at Billy's temples seem to darken, sort of tracing around her eyes. And the chair sort of swings and rotates suddenly. So remember I said it was articulated, like it could move. And as it does, bits of it sort of rearrange themselves as it swivels to face Billy and shrink down in size to human size. And a bit of the boom arm sort of swings as it's moving and cracks against the side of your helmet with pretty significant force, and you're knocked sideways. It's the kind of thing that normally should have thrown you across the room, but for some reason it doesn't, and you don't think it was hard enough, but a spiderweb crack appears on your helmet. Air begins, hissing out. But you feel like you're okay. I'll let you take it from there.
Hello, everyone. I would like to introduce Dr. Billy Lawless, a mystic adept who also separates mind from body. Welcome to the void.
It's so good. It's so good.
In seeing that I'm okay, I'm gonna look at everyone.
And imagine everyone near you is panicking because your suit's been ruptured. I mean, it's the kind of thing that could be repaired, right?
Marcus has
but
helmet tape already out and ready to go.
Yeah. We'll let Billy narrate what happens. We'll just assume you're all panicking and trying to interfere here.
They're all panicking, and I'm
except for
waving
Dr.
them
Flores,
off.
who's very engrossed in her book at the table.
And I'm waving hands off of me, and over comms you can hear me say, I'm okay, I'm actually fine, I'm fine, stop, I'm fine. And I'm gonna slowly, I'm assuming there's some kind of something that I would disconnect, and
yeah,
I'm gonna slowly take my helmet off.
Yep.
And stand there for a minute.
And everyone around you can see, Billy's features look just a little bit sharper, a little bit harder. And the skin of her face has almost a faint sparkling dusting of something across it. And it glitters in the light, just subtly, not glitter, but there's a little bit of a sheen there. And her skin looks a little bit harder, a little bit more impervious. And she's fine. If anything was going to happen, it would have happened already. You would have seen the ammonia and methane reacting with her skin. And it doesn't.
Billy, you should not be okay.
I know.
Can we... the communicator, was it a part of the helmet, or is it something?
I think we
Probably
established
have,
that we can do. Well, I think we
a
established we have
headset?
a speaker thing because Billy was talking to the little robots.
Yeah, But it could
True.
also be like often like the NASA helmets, right? The headset comms is like separate
Okay.
from the
That's all I
helmet,
was
so-
checking. I just wanted to. I was curious how we were communicating. That's all.
Yeah,
Established
it's
some
it's
things.
probably integrated in the helmet, but when she takes it off, she could like find these bits and like reconnect it
Mhm.
like a
Okay.
headset.
I guess it's. And before she finishes the sentence, she's just gonna sit down.
And you sit, and the chair sort of rotates, and the boom arm lowers, and like silk, like a silken hood, it sort of just slithers over your head, sliding down to encompass it. And it hardens a little bit into this meshed, pallid yellow mask. Billy,
Yes, Dan.
I need you to make a intellect defense roll here.
Okay. Do I have to?
You don't. No, you don't. You can actually just choose not to roll if you wish.
Oh, gods. Okay.
You feel, so like the sensation of something slithering not just into your mind, but you feel something like liquid pouring into every ripple, every crack and crevice of your soul. Like a thin layer, not to infiltrate, but to fill. To find all those little spaces, the gaps in your soul that have been riven by your very life, to fill them, to patch them with itself.
Oh, God. Okay. Okay. Emma is nervy. I don't think Billy is gonna make a roll against this.
Okay.
I think she's gonna just let this happen. Oh, fuck.
And so it settles in, and there's a click as it disconnects from the chair. And so the mask is just on. And you can just feel this second veneer, this lens, this film of something else, something old, something alien that is kind of just wrapped around your soul like a cardigan.
Feels really nice.
It's a little itchy, it's wool.
I'm gonna try and stand up.
And you can stand up. You have a sensation like there's knowledge you could potentially tap into.
Oh.
Things that you could learn. It's not automatic. It's something you'd have to work at.
Can I start working at that now?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's something that, like, you know, it's an asset, right?
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
In
I
the
see.
moment. Yeah.
I got you. Ooh.
So
A
this
source of intrusions.
did it form to like the alien? Is it still like oblong or is
No.
it human?
It's
No,
I
it
think her
is
face.
it's fitting
Okay,
over
yeah.
her head like a glove.
Is there a change in any of the columns with all of this happening?
There is not.
Okay.
Let's touch base with Dr. Flores, who all this is happening was reviewing text. So you don't have the level of knowledge that Eva does, but
Right.
you've got a few things in there. So why don't you tell me what you're looking for?
I am honestly mostly looking to see if I see our friend Dr. Donahue again, but Yeah, no, I just have like eye for detail and what I have affectionately nicknamed approximate knowledge of many things, where I can just pick things up. Also, I did spend almost all of the time that we had between finding between the talking with the egg and then the coming down to the egg, studying the signal and trying to find anything from that. So I don't know if that's helpful at all.
Okay.
Also, I have that neat new little thing, but I don't know if it'll be helpful at this moment. Yeah.
So you're flipping through this book, and nothing leaps out to you, and you eventually sort of, you don't know how far it goes. It seems quite extensive, but eventually you sort of hit things that you think you've sort of paged through it, essentially. But can I intrude here?
Oh, of course.
Okay. You feel something calling to you from another column. And, who would you like to give the other XP to?
Eva.
Okay.
And I'll go straight over and pop that bad boy out.
All right. So you just are drawn over to sort of a distant column and pull out a tablet, so your hand just finds it, and you pull it down. And you're looking through and when you're flipping through, given sort of the limited information that you have, you come across a small description that seems to be talking about visualizing or seeing into the future. Premonition.
Okay.
And it's a little difficult because some of the terminology that they use is different, and they seem to have a weird perception of time anyway. But it's definitely describing the sorts of premonition that you would be familiar with, that people have been searching for actual evidence and proof of.
Right.
For a long time. And as you're sort of flipping through, and then flipping through faster and faster and faster and faster as you're scrolling through, the text whirling by in these strange spiraling reflections. And when your hand kind of comes away, it keeps flickering, spiraling on its own as it sort of swirls through. And the face of Dr. Donahue resolves itself in this blurring flicker of alien text. And it just says, "Why?"
Because you weren't meant to find this, you son of a bitch.
And it just continues to stare at you.
And I'm here and you're not. So how does that feel?
And then it sort of fades out.
I'll make sure I get all of the relevant data about that confirms much of my research in the field of psychology, which is what I do. I am a psychiatrist. It's all scientific, purely scientific. And then I'll slide it back. And then go to check and make sure no one was looking at me, and then I assume see Billy.
and just sort of one other thing.
Mm-hmm.
When the text lands at the end, there's a diagram that looks like a raven. It's like a symbol that looks a lot like a raven. And there's a name there. It's in the alien glyphs, but you know enough to like translate, like to literally transliterate this name into the closest equivalent, and it's Amon. Amon.
Oh, okay. Quinn knows things. Fuck. I would stay on that for a hot second then. And make sure I get, I obviously am getting like screen grabs technically, but like
that's basically what you would be doing is just like recording.
Yeah,
stuff.
but also committing it to memory, because I feel like with calculates and incalculable, I can kind of do that a little bit. Yikes. And with just to put it out there, does my magic training help with that at all?
Yes, absolutely it does.
That I casually have for no particular reason whatsoever.
You do. You don't even need to roll for this. Because this is something, let me flip through. And yeah, like I mean, the first thing that pops into your head is the Lesser Key of Solomon.
Yep.
Where Amon is the seventh spirit. A marquis great in power. And one of his perceptions is a man with a raven's head. And he telleth of all things past and to come. He procureth feuds and reconciles controversies between friends.
Oh, Donahue, did you want to make up? Cool. Knowing that, can I go through the tablet that Eva had that I had picked up and try to find any other Key of Solomon such things? Are there 9 perhaps columns in here?
There's no, there's not 9 columns. Yeah,
Okay.
there's a bunch.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like these tablets, like a quick estimate. There's hundreds in here, if not thousands.
Okay, so it's safe to assume that they come up a lot. Okay. Cool. Yeah, there are a lot more than 9 Lesser Keys of Solomon. Quinn is very familiar. What? Who said that? Fuck? Cool. I am gonna stare at that for a little bit. And then, yeah, I'd slide it, put it away, and turn around to make sure no one was watching me, and I assume see the everything behind me.
yeah, Billy with this, like, pallid yellow mask.
Just gonna lock eyes with her. And then, do you have like does she have like a comm thing on that I can see? Or, okay.
Oh, I don't know if you could see it, but...
Yeah, it would be underneath this mask, so you probably can't see it, but...
Okay.
If you turn around at the right moment, you see her talking. Like, her mouth is covered by this, like, hanging over it. But it fits tight enough. But I will specify, Billy, that it doesn't feel, like, constricting or tight to you. Like, it fits close, but it's comfortable. And, like, you can see Billy's lips moving underneath.
Okay. I'll open up a private channel with her. What you got there, friend?
I found a friend.
I can see that.
It's hugging me. It's a face hugger, if you will.
But the good kind.
We'll find out. It
We'll
is
find
hugging.
out.
It's when I say hugging, I don't mean my face. I mean my soul.
Huh.
It's okay. I don't feel quite so alone.
I suppose you wouldn't. What does it have to say for itself?
Nothing yet.
Did you ask for its name?
No, and it didn't ask for mine.
Maybe introduce yourself.
I guess upon hearing that, I might try to I think internally what Billy would try to do is let go a little bit and in her brain say, hello. I guess.
And you don't get like an answer back, like a conversation, but like, as you put yourself into that state,
Yeah.
you get just sort of a deeper awareness of it. And whatever it is comes almost like from a distance, like an echo.
Yes.
But you do get a sense of a name. And that name is Iman.
Oh, no. Okay.
But you have flashes of insight into the nature of its current state.
Okay.
And it was once a great and powerful and knowledgeable being, but it was punished. And it had two choices: dissolution or service. And it was a soul severed from the world, cut away, like one would cut out a tumorous growth, and bound into the mask.
I think upon sort of like that understanding, you're all gonna just see Billy like really gently touch the mask. And internally, I think she's trying to... God, why did I make her? She's going to like try to hug back, kind of, or like she's gonna kind of try to like acknowledge their pain.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she's trying to do. She's
Okay.
trying to say, all right, I see that. I see you.
Yeah. You're not sure if it gets through. You don't know
Right.
quite the nature of this relationship yet.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, shall we... I guess I should introduce my friend.
Yes.
Are you talking to us or
Are you
it?
talking to us?
Oh no, I'm talking to you all.
Okay. Yes.
I'm gonna meet eyes with Medsley in only the way that she and I meet eyes. And I will say, this is Aman. I think they really are gonna join us for a while.
They're in the mask.
Oh yeah.
I'm headed the fuck over. And I'm uncomfortably close to Billy at this point. I would try to get as like face to face as possible.
Billy will like kind of like lean back just a little because that's unusual, but
Yeah, what? And I'm just gonna stare at it. I'm gonna look at her. His name's in one of the books.
His name's in a lot of books. Oh,
Here.
you mean these books?
This book.
Which book?
And I'll just kind of gesture vaguely behind me.
I'm gonna go back to the book and keep reading.
Because it doesn't matter at this point.
It matters to me.
I think that Billy would probably pull up and just send out to everybody a brief synopsis, Wikipedia style,
Yeah.
about this well, what we have been told through our history has been a deity of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a spirit, a demon.
Yeah.
One of the marquees of hell.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Yeah.
you know, just simple things like that. It's
Just
fine.
tell things. Just tell
Fine.
things.
He
Tell
has his
stuff.
own legion. It's okay.
It's fine, yeah.
40 legions.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Marcus is actually pretty familiar with this.
I'm
His
sorry, what?
upbringing.
I'm
Oh,
sorry,
oh,
go
sorry,
on.
what?
Wait.
What was that?
Sorry.
What?
Go on.
Do tell.
That's all you're gonna share?
That's all I'm going to share.
You don't want
Dip.
to share with the class?
Taryn.
Oh,
That's
wow,
okay.
He just kind of slides in with like, oh yeah, I know about this, and slides back out again.
It's okay. People talk when they're ready.
Glitch, can I intrude?
Yes. Yeah, sorry, I couldn't find the unmute button. I was surprised.
Yeah, who would you like to give the other XP to?
Kane.
Okay. Would you care to describe for me your new ability and what it looks like if it activated?
Oh boy. So you mean the tier 2 ability?
Yeah.
Yeah. It starts at the fingers again. Just these little static like sparks. And he kind of stops and looks at his hand. And like tries to like hide it for a second. And as he like goes to like hide his hands from everyone else, it spreads suddenly up the arms until it's everywhere for a hot second. And then with like a snap of a sulfur-like smell, he's on the other side of the room.
And so, like, you sort of do that, you know, Raiden Mortal Kombat, like, you know, convert into a bolt of lightning that sort of streaks across the room. But it actually hits one of these cables. One of these bundles of cables on a table on the far side of the wall. And for everyone in the room, you do not see Glitch rematerialize. And Glitch, you sort of rematerialize as you're like ejected out of a similar port in another wall. And find yourself in a room full of sort of crystalline slabs, like the beds that you've seen, but they're made out of like crystal, with these like insectile and tentacular sort of devices hanging over these crystal slabs. There's like a sort of crystal booth almost in a corner. There's a metallic pod in another corner with like rods and crystal spheres and metal spheres coming out of it in another. And there are, like, sort of on a bench top among various devices, there are rows and rows and rows of crystalline canisters that are like a couple of inches high with a sparkling grayish goo inside them that you just intuitively know are nanites.
Okay.
And there's like, there's some passages that lead out of this room, like some door-like things, and this light. You've got your suit lights on, but this like pale bluish sparkly light sort of comes into the room as like crystalline bands in the wall sort of light up, illuminating the room.
I think for a good few seconds he just stands there shocked.
If I don't see him, I'm gonna call over to the comms. Glitch.
And Glitch, you hear it, but there's interference. You think you're far enough away that there's interference in the signal from both the stone and all of that. But the voice does come through. It's just like crackly and sort of distance, and you know what that sounds like.
I go to respond, but then I see the pod, and I get a little distracted by that, and I don't respond. And I go over to the pod.
Okay.
Glitch, are you okay?
Kane, you're on point, and Marcus is going to start heading out of the room.
Glitch?
Which direction in terms of lettered room would you like to sort of head towards in your search?
I guess what's our middle one?
So from room, you're in room B.
Yes.
So you have direct connections to A, C, D, and E.
Oh,
There's so many options.
I guess D.
Okay.
Really, I'm just trying to look for something around kind of where we're at, but
D is one of those like central ones. It's one
Yeah.
of those center ones. Okay, so you all start heading in that direction.
well, no,
and,
Marcus is
again-
telling everyone to stay put, and then
Okay, and Marcus is heading
And I
in.
am directly ignoring that order and following Marcus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Copy.
All right, so the other are Flores and Eva. Are those doctors staying in the classroom library, or following the crew as they chase after Glitch?
I really want to go after Glitch.
Go for it.
I don't think Eva does, though. I think Eva's gonna stay.
I think Flores is gonna stay.
Okay,
I was hoping
Alright.
you would stay.
okay. So as everyone else sort of chases out, so Glitch. So your attention is on this booth, and you're wandering towards it. It's made out of crystal. For lack of a better word, it looks like a circular crystal phone booth. And you can see like a subtle line and like a crystal, like little like thickened control pad, almost like where a door or handle of some sort should be.
I go to the control pad.
Okay.
Can I turn it on?
So it's got some controls that you're not entirely sure how they work, but we can give it a go. So what skills or abilities do you have that you might apply for operating technological devices?
This is the thing I'm good at, y'all. I have an ability called machine interference. For 1 minute, you gain an asset on tasks to discern the level, function, and activation of technological devices that you touch.
Okay.
And I
So-
definitely touch it.
Yeah. And this is one of your standard non-void related things. You've got some tech and a machine interface. And so this will give you an asset on learning how to activate it. All right, so that's an asset. Do you have any other skills?
Let's see. I've got weird science knowledge, hacking, and skilled in nanites, but certain kinds
Okay.
specifically.
All right, let's go with weird science as a skill here.
Okay.
So you're trained or specialized?
I believe I am trained.
Okay, so that will reduce by 1. Your asset will reduce by 1. And would you like to spend any effort here?
Yes. I have an
Okay.
effort of 2.
Okay. And so 2 levers of effort would cost 5 intellect, and minus whatever your edge in intellect is.
I think my edge is 1.
Okay, so it would cost 4.
No, my edge is 2. It went
Oh.
up to 2.
Perfect.
Yeah. So 3.
Perfect. So 3. Yeah, so 3
Okay.
points of intellect.
Yep.
1, 2, so that will reduce by 4. Okay, you can go ahead and roll for me.
Okay. 13.
All right. So you don't know how you know, but as you're just like sort of touching and poking and prodding at this control pad for like a minute, you sort of punch in on a couple of points on the crystal, and the door cracks open and swings open and fills with a light as it activates. And you can see like little tubular like nozzle ports sort of all along the inside of the booth.
There's nothing inside of it. It's empty.
Other than that, yeah. But the lights have lit, and it's clearly active by whatever you did. It looks like big enough for one of these like Martians to basically step in it and close the door, like essentially like a small shower or like a tanning booth or like one of those like fake spray tan things. Like those would be the closest equivalents that you could think of.
Oh boy.
Or a standing coffin.
This is a really bad idea. This is a really bad idea. This is really don't do it. Oh, fuck me. I come back to everyone. I'm gonna do a thing and it's a really bad idea, but if anyone's gonna do it, it's gonna be me, so I'm gonna do it.
Glitch, at least keep talking to us while you do it, Glitch. Don't get off comms.
It might not let me, but
Talk us through what you're doing. What do you see? Glitch,
Okay.
what do you see?
So you step into it.
It's a pod.
The door closes and clicks shut. And then there's a hissing sound as like gray particles start spewing out of the nozzles and like pinging against your armor with a sound sort of like rain pelting against a windshield. And you can even, like, the places where it hits your helmet, you can see the little splats and splatters. And it starts to coat the exterior of your suit and sort of slither and link together, forming until it sort of encases over the suit. And you can feel the suit sort of reconfigure itself. Like where it was bulky before, you can see this gray substance, the little tendrils sort of worm their way into your suit and begin to eat it. But they never rupture it. They always maintain a perfect vacuum seal. But by the time it's done, in like a few minutes, and so if you're describing this, you are wearing this like sleek dull gray, like more like form-fitting sort of suit. There's like some areas that are a little bit more armored than your old suit. And the helmet has become like sleeker, but it has a transparent area still. All the inner workings seem fine, none of your electronics, but all of the outside has just been like re-optimized based on this material. It's slightly hard to move in because it's like where it's a bit like armored. But for all intents and purposes, you've just been coated with a nanoweave synthetic mesh armor.
Fucking nanites.
Which will give you +1 to armor. But any speed tasks are going to be hindered.
Okay. Nanites are it's nanite machine. I've got nanite. I've got more nanites now.
Doing good, kid. Just keep talking.
I mean, it's not, nanites aren't bad. It's actually really cool. It's like a superhero suit.
You okay?
Yeah. I have no idea where the fuck I am.
I'm trying to find you.
Stay the fuck put, please.
Yeah. Okay.
And like after as you're talking, after a few minutes and like sort of checking all these little side passages, you burst into a room just as you can see the face, thankfully, because as this humanoid figure in very alien looking armor steps out of this like crystal booth in the corner.
Kid.
Super suit.
I'm gonna run over, and if Glitch will allow me, I'm going to hug him.
I'll hug back awkwardly.
You're okay. You're alright? You're alright. You're fine. You're okay?
Yep, just I had a little glitch there.
Don't ever do that again. You scared the crap out of me.
I don't think I can make that promise. I didn't do it on purpose.
Okay, Caden. Who's watching the doctors?
Fuck! Hang on, I'm gonna... Frankie! Wait, 1 second. I'm gonna run over to Billy. I'm gonna be like, you okay in there?
Oh yeah, I'm just being hugged by an ancient demon deity thing. It's fine.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm gonna put if Billy will let me, I'll put my hands on either side of her face. I'm gonna look into the mask and say, if you hurt her, those how many years of your soul being rendered from your body are gonna seem like a vacation. I'm gonna make you suffer in ways you could never imagine. So just bear that in mind. And then I'm gonna run off and go back to the doctors.
Okay. As you're running out, Marcus, because you're observant, you notice that in the middle of the floor, traced out, is a symbol.
Mm-hmm.
The 8th symbol.
That's good. Sorry.
Okay.
Reasons.
Billy, Glitch, you seeing this? Sorry, Dr. Lawless, which we discussed Billy, yeah. He's just like doing the like eye point thing at the floor. Glitch, will you update the map, please?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Where are we? I literally have no idea.
Based on your stuff, D.
Oh, okay. So D is.
I'm gonna touch it.
That was not supposed to be unmuted.
That was so good.
The suit.
No. Oh wait, the symbol's on the suit.
Oh, the symbol.
No,
No.
I want to touch the symbol.
Yeah, it's just like the floor is this like weird stone substance, and when you move your finger over, because now of course you can actually feel what things feel like.
Exactly.
And the stone is glassy smooth, but the part of the stone where the sigil is traced into is softer. It has a almost fleshy texture.
Okay. I am going to walk over and stand in the center of it, just to see what anything happens. I think actually
Okay.
I'd probably like crawl and then sit in the center of it. That's probably what I'd do.
Yeah, so you sit and sort of relax, and you can just feel this faint from your sort of innate ability. You can detect this faint sort of magical aura from the sigil, but you can feel it only because you've got this sort of filter of this second soul that you're currently wearing. And there's like a resonance or an echo there. So let's come back to Eva and Mestley. Chin hands. What y'all doing back in the library?
We're just being cool friends who are
You
cool.
nerds.
I think Eva took like a step to follow everybody. And then just kind of looked around at this vast expanse of knowledge. And couldn't. I think in spite of herself, she's gonna go try to she's gonna go to another random column and pull out. Do these columns have any markings or any distinctions
don't.
between them? Okay.
They don't. No. Yeah, and so and to be clear too, like the level of what you have, like so Eva's ability right now with the books is like it's a way below, it'd be off screen, right? But it's like a here. And like Metzley's is like here, because Metzley's just got the like Eva is like, well, this and this and this symbol kind of transliterates
languages,
to the,
yeah.
And it doesn't transliterate, it's totally foreign, right? So you need big chunks. And you're at the level where out of a paragraph you pick out like 6 words. And you're pretty sure that and you're pretty sure that you haven't like inverted the meaning, but that's entirely possible. So yeah, like, so that's the state when you're like reading through things. But yeah, I mean you pull out a random book.
Yeah, I'm looking specifically for things that look like names, pictures, these weird symbols we see everywhere. Those are like the big things that I'm looking for while I'm like keeping specific eye out for while I'm looking through these books, these treasure troves.
Yeah. And so it's probably like one of these things where, so imagine you walked into a library and you don't know how it's organized.
Yep.
Right? And you're walking through a library that's not organized with a Dewey Decimal System and like pulling out random books and looking at them. So The majority of what you get has very little context and appears to be just like let's call it you're in Skyrim and it's the like random historical bullshit.
It's like the
right?
fifth part of a series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's like 8 copies of the Argonian Maid and like whatever else, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So a lot of it's entirely random, but assuming you spend a fair amount of time, which you have, probably by the time Natasha gets back, and unless Metzley interrupts, you probably will have up to like 30 minutes at least of uninterrupted time going through
So
stuff.
much time for me and Dr. Flores to be alone together, you all. You don't understand how excited I am.
Yeah. And so in that time, so let's let the dice come into play here. So you won't know the challenge here. It'll be hidden.
Right.
We'll treat all of your stuff that you've had. So your skills still apply. Your Martian archaeology. So that's 2. And you've got your translations as an asset. You still have access to your other stuff as an asset, so that all reduces it by 4.
Okay.
Would you like to spend effort here? Okay. And how many levels of effort are you spending?
2, because why not?
Okay. So that'll be a total of 6 reduced off of your thing. So let's roll them dice.
Okay. It's a 12 again.
Okay. So, you find, scattered amongst all of this, you find some text. And it appears to be a religious tone. And, like, you don't understand it, but bits and pieces leap out. There's a series of symbols and names.
How many?
You find there's like a bunch
Okay.
that you don't recognize, but there's 9 of import.
9 of import or 9 that I deem important?
9 that seem to have stressed importance. So you can tell that in the book they're important. They're like the names you see again and again and again. And the symbols, of course, associated with them you recognize. And they're in... You find them in various orders, but you find the 1st and 9th symbol often appear together. Sometimes they appear separately. And... Just 1 second. Turn that down a little bit. And they're associated with a name and a place. Both. The place is sort of florally the place of unbeing. Or the place of dissolution. The best you figure a translation would be the void. And the name that comes up associated with that is Paimon. And given a title of the King in Yellow. Or the Pallid King. And the place, there's another place name there, but associated as being in the place of unbeing, is Carcosa.
Okay.
The second symbol appears to be associated with a name, Agaras. The third, Visago. The fourth, Samagina. The fifth, Marbas. Let's see. The sixth, we've got here somewhere, Valafor. The seventh, Amon. And the eighth, Barbatos. Some other sort of symbolic associations that are associated with these, with Paimon in the first and the ninth, as well as being the void, is also the entrance.
Okay.
Doorways.
Okay.
Thresholds. And the spaces between. Agaris in the second symbol is often associated with maps and travel and finding the way. The third with hidden and secret things and the nexus of the ritual. The fourth is slippery. It changes its shape. And it gives account of the dead. The fifth is also hidden in secrets, disguises, and machines. The mechanical arts. The sixth is the wise counselor. The seventh, Amon, you already know. Things past and still to come. And the eighth, the language of life fundamental. Metzley, while Eva's like tearing through and engrossed.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I would do a lot of watching that happen. And I have a lot of things to say about a lot of those names. By which I mean all of the names. I would probably have gone over and taken a look at one of the like plug-looking cord things.
Yep.
Just seeing what's going on over there.
Yeah, so like I described before, it's sort of articulated chitinous, it's ribbed and jointed, a thick cable, and then it's got this like sort of puckered disc, flexible at the end, with these like metallic barbs or spikes or teeth-like structures. It's pretty aggressive looking, sort of part biological, part mechanical.
You know what I would do for some fucking nanites right now? Well, I would know that I can't take my suit off in any form or fashion. I can't pierce my suit as much as I very much want to at this moment. Mesley, calm down. She's like, just do it.
I mean, you probably, if you spend a load, you could probably, assuming would have things for repairing suits, so that, you know, if you accidentally had a puncture, you know, there's like a spray sealant that you can spray on to, like, you know, seal it closed, things like that.
Oh no, why did you say that? Okay, if I spend a load, I can probably not die, is what I'm hearing. Because if that's the case, how big are they?
Like the cable's like long, and you know, it reaches from the middle to the edge of the table and a little bit further. So say it's a few feet long, because the tables are kind of big. But like if you were at the edge of the table, you would probably only have like a foot or two to play with, right, in terms of give. And it's about like that thick.
Okay. I'm currently debating where I can.
Inches across.
I'm currently debating where I can stab it into my body. That's going to be the most easy to reach and make sense.
So the easiest would be like your arm or something, right? Because it's like right there.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you thinking in the terms of makes sense? Like maybe it needs to connect to your brain.
Yeah, or something, interface with something biological. Or occult, but all of the occult things would definitely kill me. Yeah, no, I don't know if that. The mess, please shut up. It's very annoying. Just wants to talk to demon princess. It's fine.
And like obviously, like you're working anything with your helmet.
Yeah.
Would be harder to repair versus like the softer parts of your suit, which would be like your parts of your torso, perhaps, or your limbs.
Just go for the heart. Might as well, right?
Well, I was thinking about going for like one of the chakras, but I wasn't sure which one yet. I don't want to pierce a major artery, which I feel like I could do pretty easily, considering I am specialized in medicine. I think I would know where to go. Probably for somewhere near where, like, more towards the stomach area is, because that's... No, the root chakra is too low for that, but I can get for a shrug. I'm just going to stab myself with it and see what happens.
Yeah, so you're basically going to, like, jam it into your suit. All right. So you pick it up and sort of jab it in, and the like prongs puncture into the suit. You know, you give enough force to jam it in, and the cable comes alive like a wriggling snake sort of in your hands as it twists and like burrows through the suit and like punctures into the skin. And it hurts. There's some significant pain there. I would like you to move down one on the damage track.
Okay.
Which will impact, it sort of hinders like your speed and stuff like that. That you can use recoveries to get back. But for now, it's sort of, because you start bleeding copiously, you know, you got to spray this like sealant over. And you can feel sort of these little tendrils pierce into your skin and sort of wriggle and connect into your nervous system. And then you just feel this like alien flood of information streaming by. Like, you know those like 90s like information superhighway graphics of like rushing streams of data, like that, except it's like incomprehensible because it's it's like not binary, it's weird alien,
Oh,
quantum entangled data stream just flooding through and like assaulting across your consciousness as you just like struggle to deal with this stream of information. And that's where we're going to end for tonight.
Y'all.
Just want to say I haven't breathed for 2 hours.
Yeah. All right.
Look at this mess. Look at this mess, you guys. So
Can
much.
we just keep playing for the next like 4 hours?
Yeah.
Forever.
Right?
Oh, y'all.
So,
Dan!
Daniel.
Yes.
Dad.
Dan,
Those
what's your
of us-
middle name so I can use your full?
Dad Gaston.
I have 2 middle names.
Oh,
Oh
Even
man.
better.
that's even better for.
I will
Richard
just say.
Richard
Sorry,
and
no.
James.
Oh, I was almost named James.
Yeah.
Aw.
Daniel, Richard, James, Gaston.
Such
Good
a
to know.
long,
Good information.
long name to chastise you with.
Daniel
It is.
Richard James Gaston.
I've heard it in chastisement many times from my mother in the course of my life.
As someone who knows nothing about the occult, this was hilarious to watch. I'm just like, oh, it's more names. Yep. Da, 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 da. I don't know things.
Woo-hoo. We're.
So,
This
So-
is going
so
to be
the gr-
amazing.
I
so
also
the great
like.
th-
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, Anders, for if you're ever curious, you can basically look up the first 9 keys of the Lesser Key of Solomon, and those are the keys.
Got it.
Sometimes when I don't know what the thing is, I note it down and I flip through the books until I'll Google and I'm like, what did Dan mean?
I will. I don't have it on me, and I will put it in Discord and also on Twitter. But I wanted to wait till the end of tonight's session to do it. That map there, Dan, that you have,
Yes.
the little
Yep.
map that you
Mhm.
made,
Mhm.
Yep.
looks awfully familiar. Looks a lot like the Tree of Life. So
Yeah,
Oh,
that
doesn't
does.
it?
Mhm. Oh, well,
Mhm.
that's cool.
I
Yeah,
can neither confirm nor deny.
there's some stuff that both Marcus and I have been keyed in on due to upbringing. So
just a real interesting shape that you chose to make, Dan.
That's right.
This all
Anyway.
works because Anders knows nothing. And glitch
Can we-
knows nothing.
Okay.
That's great.
so we're just
Wait.
gonna
When you lay out things in layers in a pyramid, there's only so many ways. And when in the numbers 3 is important.
the number 6 and the number 9 and
That's right.
It's okay. It's cool. It's cool. It's fine. It's cool. Let me deal.
I don't trust it.
I remember
Alright.
when I made that noise earlier.
We're just a bunch of little motors at this point.
All right, so why don't we go through and get people's favorite moment and progressions on arcs and
Did we discover some things, Dan?
Oh well, yeah, that goes without saying. So
I was
like,
just wondering what
yes.
XP we were getting from our discoveries.
Yeah. No, everyone gets the standard 2 XP for discoveries.
Are you sure? Because I feel like we discovered a lot. I feel like it was a lot. My notebook says there's a lot.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go in the reverse order that we did before and start with Emma.
I almost feel like there's
Hello.
something to do with this order. I'm sorry to interrupt. I just feel like we should probably map this out.
Mhm,
What?
It-
mhm,
No,
mhm.
well, it's pretty easy.
Exactly.
I just did.
There
I
are
just did
6 of
the-
us.
Yeah,
I
I
just
know.
did the over and
Okay. So, yes. Hello. I am Emma, you can find me at MK Hansen over on Twitter. Let's talk about Billy. So I would say for her, that's the wrong document. I would say that for her, yeah, that'll make sense to you in like the hottest of seconds when I send you something. So, there is what am I saying? What are words? Fuck, I'm panicking.
Who are you? What's your favorite moment? What's going on?
Oh, what? Right. Okay. What was my favorite? I mean, that I gotta say, y'all, having my second focus, I'm gonna be selfish with that one. That was a good moment. I liked that a lot. Thank you for that, Dan.
Pulling off your suit or helmet in a hostile environment.
So good. Oh God. And okay. So regarding character arcs, I would say that for both Uncover a Secret and for Explore, as in touch the things, she did that. I would say she did that this evening.
Yeah, I think so. So those is 2 each.
Okay. And then what am I doing? That's what we're doing, right? We're doing outros.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you can find me here on Variant Roles only currently. Dragon Heisters just wrapped up this week, and it will be on hiatus until January 2020 for season 2. So currently you can find me here on Thursdays, and on Mondays you can find me also here on Variant Roles at 6 p.m. Eastern for Grim Femmes Beyond the Veil, which is a campaign where we explore real life trauma using storytelling. And it's wonderful. Everyone but Dan and Taryn are in it from this particular group. And it's been delightful. And then next Thursday, instead of out here in space, we will be over in Fartown. So join us for an Invisible Sun exploration arc thing. And I will be running it. And so we're going to find out what Sowen in Saturnine is like. It's going to be real good.
It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm bringing my terrible dark child.
Yes! Bring me your
he's going to get
children.
to meet Sweets.
I know. I'm very excited about Sweets Giving.
Yeah.
We are very excited.
I think he's going to like meeting them.
Y'all.
Zeinlin's going to like that.
I think that's
all right. Excellent. Perfect. Okay. So Maria.
Hello. I'm Maria. Favorite moment. I think all of the information dumping was my favorite moments. All of the book stuff, all of this stuff, so good. Like I'm making connections, and it's really scary. Wonderful. I love solving mysteries, much like Eva does. It's so good. That's my favorite moment. So moments. As far as character arcs go, recovering from trauma, I don't.
Well, you did have to like deliberately push through.
Poke into it. Yeah, that's what I was.
Access it.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, and I did uncover a secret.
Yeah, and it didn't hurt you further.
Yeah,
like it didn't hurt.
Yeah, it didn't hurt this time, guys. Thinking about it, didn't hurt this time. Okay, but yeah, that also did uncover a secret about a little piece of everything. You know, Martian text in English, human text, just Earth text. It's so great. We're doing great. This is great.
Yeah. So I think that's advancement. I think on both of those fronts.
Yay. And as far as what I'm doing, you've already heard Grim Femmes. Gonna be doing that fun thing.
Except for this Monday.
Except for this Monday. We're not there this Monday. Taking a little breather. But the other Mondays, come see us. It's cool. Besides this, I'm also on Urban Shadows on Sunday nights at 8. I think Taryn can talk more about it. It's Taryn's show, and it's great. And I do it with Taryn and other people involved, like Matthew Foreman and all sorts of other people.
We're not on this Sunday, but I'll talk more
But
about
not
that.
this Sunday. There's lots of breaks going on this time of year, and it's great, and it's all great. Besides all of that, 2 other things, because I keep forgetting to mention it. I take commissions for stream overlays. There's details on my Twitter, which is at HappyCapster. But if you need Twitch overlays, hello. I like doing them. And then also I'm doing a side project with my husband at Society Goblins on Twitter, where we're doing a bunch of D&D 5e magic items. It's super great. It's super awesome. We released one yesterday. That is like one of my favorite uncommon magic items ever. It's so good. It's called the Protean Bow. It's very, very cool. But yeah, go check it out. It's really cool. Goodbye.
Perfect. Excellent. I like all those things. Anders.
Oh, hello, I'm Anders. What was my favorite moment? Fuck all of them. I'm going to very selfishly that I enjoyed glitching, because that was kind of the conceptual concept for him. So that was really fun.
Yeah, I felt, and I hope you do too, that like triggering that through an intrusion seemed to like make sense.
Yeah, I liked it. It was good. You can do that some more. It's fine. Character-wise, I think in terms of mysterious background, those things that are happening because of his mysterious background. So that was the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then growth. That's more about like relationships and I don't know. I don't know about growth. Maybe. I don't know. He did.
Well, we can reflect on it, and we can always add them later if.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, well, definitely the 2 for the background, and then we can reflect on the growth.
Don't know if he's growing or not. Oh no, there was a thing. He's learned that it's possible to gain a soul because now Billy has 2, so that means maybe there's one that he can go find.
Yeah. I know. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, my heart." Poor Glitch.
At least in his mind, that's a thing that needs to happen in order to grow.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, that's right, because Glitch is convinced that he doesn't have a soul.
Yep.
Whether that's true or not, I mean, that's what he believes.
That's what he believes. Things I'm doing things here like this, and Grimfims, and a Velvet Soiree, which is happening this week, which is on Tuesdays, but Quinn can talk about it more. Saturday, it's Extra Life for the kids, and we're going to do some Halloween honey heist. A bunch of bears are going to steal a bunch of candy from kids. So, yeah. That's at 7 on Unmade Gaming. I'm going to run some honey heist and some bear shenanigans, which is always a good time.
Perfect.
A-Rate Games. You can find them. They're pinned to the top of my Twitters. All the money from the games that are there is going so I can write more games and pay artists lots of money, because artists deserve lots of money for the hard work that they do. So buy my games so I can write more games.
Perfect. Excellent. All right. Taryn.
Hey y'all, I'm Taryn. Yeah, that was an episode, session, whatever. Favorite moment? I have a lot of them. Pinpointing one is difficult, but yeah, wow, why am I having trouble with this? I think, yeah, Billy putting the helmet on. I actually, honestly, that intrusion was probably my favorite. Kind of the way that you incorporated the foci and like everything. It just was seamless in my opinion. I really enjoyed that. There's that noise. Oh, hey, Tall Squall. We're totally just wrapping up, but thanks.
Thanks for the raid.
Thanks for the raid at the end. The end raid.
We still have a few people doing their outros,
yeah,
so there's discussions of things that have happened.
Yep. So arcs, character arcs. Defend the mission, running after Glitch, I think clarified, trying to keep everyone alive and together and everything. And then the friend things, complimenting Natasha and thanking her for making his speech better. There were a few moments. Also trying to talk to Glitch through like getting Glitch to like talk through it outside of just like whatever they were going through. It was more of like a comfort moment as opposed to like a mission thing. So
yeah.
Hello, Glitch. Really appreciated that. Thank you very much. It made him feel better.
Good. That was the point. But yeah, so those two. And then things, we usually have Urban Shadows on Sundays, but not this Sunday, as Max or All Max D20 on Twitter is going to be running a Halloween thing as well during our time slot. So we're taking a week, and I need a week personally for some stuff going on. So that's all you can find me on. That's it. This and that.
All right. Excellent. So we've got Val.
I'm Val. I don't know what's happening anymore. My brain is a bit fried. That was an episode. Hi. My favorite moments. All the descriptions do it just great. The filling in the cracks of the soul. There's the mark on the ground is like flesh. God, sorry, it's like 3:30 and my brain is fried for some reason. I'm like, so many things have happened in this episode. Oh boy, howdy. It was also good though. I love the Billy helmet, the Glitch walking. I was freaking out when Glitch went into that machine, having a moment. I was like, no. But like player was like, yes. In terms of arcs, I don't think because I'm mysterious background and growth, I don't think either of those for this session.
I could argue growth and like tied into some of your like side scenes and stuff. Like Natasha had a few very like take charge moments that seemed a little bit different and new for her to me.
Did people started referring to her as captain and she hasn't been correcting them, so that's a weird thing for Natasha.
So I mean, to me at least, that seems like growth.
Also, she feels very responsible for all the people on here suddenly and doesn't know why. She's just like, well, I guess these are mine now. Oh yeah, and that Metzley side. Oh yeah, I opened up to Metzley in a side scene. Okay, yeah, grew. Natasha grew.
There we go. All right, so that's 2 XP for that.
Yeah.
And yeah, hopefully we'll, I mean, we had some of the mysterious background last week, so hopefully session we'll have more.
That was badass stuff, and everything. But it was so good this week with the nanites and the drifting and the evil memories. It's so good. I love this game. Oh, that's me. I'm out. Bye, y'all.
All right, perfect. Quinn.
Yes, hello, this is Quinn. My favorite moment, personally, was just me and Emma looking at each other and screaming IRL and in character for like the entire night. Just occult things, TM. And also just like Mesley finally gets to play because everyone is doing other things. It's like, oh dear. I wonder what's going on there. Nothing. So for arcs, defeat a foe. Eat it, Donahue. And transformation void howdy. Yeah.
Yeah. You've seen the power of a few things
Void howdy.
of this place to change, and you've got some, I mean, firsthand experience of weird phenomena and
Yes.
books from an alien civilization talking about premonition.
And now a thing in me, probably, that no one was there to stop me to do, which was fun. Hey, Eva. Me as a person, hi. I'm here on Thursdays, and then on Mondays I'm in Grim Femmes with the most of the people here. And then Tuesdays, we have a Velvet Soiree, which is just a nice chill dinner party. We just raised a lich. Well, one of the party members just raised a lich. One of the party members casually found the Wand of Orcus. There may be, that's a really big spoiler, Quinn. Wow. Don't say that one. So there are only 2 sessions left, though, so things are going to come to a potentially explosive ending. Make sure you check that out. During the week, sometimes when I am feeling up to it, I stream the video games on my personal Twitch channel. My everything can be found on my Twitter at Quintastic_. I write games. Yeah. I think that's everything.
Okay, perfect. Excellent. All right, so as far as me, it's like here. And I'll just give a shout out for the other couple things we've got on VR. So tomorrow, assuming that none of these have changed their schedule, because sometimes they don't tell us. But at 5 p.m. Eastern, we have Courts of the Shadow Fae. And at 8 p.m. Eastern, we have Dresden Files Portland. And Saturday morning, 9:30 Eastern, is the premiere of Avernus with our very own DM Jazzy Hands, Eugenio, DMing a high-level group that will be starting, like, adventurers that are starting out in Avernus. So that is fantastic. And in a couple of weeks, I think originally it was going to start next Monday, but I think it's been pushed until the week after, on Monday nights after Grim Femmes at 9 Eastern. Eugenio will also be GMing Overlight. So it's a cool kaleidoscopic fantasy extravaganza, and that should be exciting. That's pretty much it. Oh, and Wednesdays we have Dungeons and Deductibles. So tune in at 7:30 Eastern for a hilarious game of D&D 5e set in Waterdeep with like magic fantasy claims adjusters. And it pokes fun at like bureaucracy and corporate culture and D&D itself and everything. And it's fantastic. So you should definitely tune into that. So that's about it. All we got going on right now. And I hope they're not going off the air too quick. I figured we would raid Welcome Party, unless anyone else has any suggestions. I know they'll probably be going off quick, but
there's Heroes Without Limits.
Oh, are they on?
Yeah, they just went on a little bit ago. It's H without limits, no spaces, no capitals.
Oh, that's right. So. Okay, H.
There's also
with
gaming. They're actually right now.
Yeah, we'll toss to Heroes Without Limits. There's a bunch of folks from the community there.
Yeah.
So
and they're also like, yeah. I don't have the best words to describe it right now, so I'm not going to. They're awesome folk.
Right. Exactly. All right. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you next week for some spoopy Halloween fun. All right. Night, everybody.